Welcome into the Chiefs Report by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Harrison Graham, back with another video just for you guys. And hey, we got to talk about Patrick Mahomes to kick off today's show because he talked recently saying, I think I in this offense can get a lot better. And you're probably thinking, how much better room for improvement is there, right? It's already the best quarterback in the NFL and the best offense in the league. Now, said he did a lot of self-film review this offseason, and to his credit, I think he's actually right on this, said that this offense left a lot of big plays out there. Now, any team that does film review is going to notice that they left plays on the field. You're not going to hit every big opportunity. That is just how things work. But I think what Mahomes is saying is, hey, this is a high-level offense. We need to hit on some of these more opportunities. And if you guys remember last year, the Chiefs would get up big in games, and they would kind of fart around and ultimately just win in closer games. He's saying, hey, let's hit more of those big plays, and let's put games away much, much sooner. Now, here's what Mahomes had to say on his offseason film review. Quote, every time you watch it, you learn and you realize all the different stuff you left out there on the field and how you could have changed games with different completions and just taking what's there or attacking at the right moments. I think the best thing about it, you learn and you learn from your mistakes, and then you try to improve those things the next year. We had a great offense last year, but I think we can get substantially better if we continue to evolve and continue to get better and better at my decision making. Simply put, this is how greatness happens, right? Patrick Mahomes is at a high enough level where he could rest on his laurels and still be a top 5 quarterback for the rest of his career and just trot into the Hall of Fame. But he's chasing more. He wants to be one of, if not the greatest quarterbacks of all time. He wants to win 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Super Bowls if it is possible. He's not just going to say, oh, we already won one, we went to another one, everything else is just gravy. No, he wants more. This team wants more. That's how you become even greater than you already are, because you look to improve every single year. And hey, despite the numbers he had last year, I do believe that he can improve, which if you put up a season like this, you're probably saying, wow, that's the best quarterback in football. And yeah, I think it is. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers was very, very good last year, but Patrick Mahomes through 3 seasons has been fantastic. But if the last couple of years show us anything, he can continue to get better, because he has since his first year as a starter in 2018. What do you think? Do you think there's room for improvement? Do you think Patrick Mahomes can get better? Type Y for yes, type N for no. I absolutely think he can, and I think he will starting this season. So get your votes in, Y for yes or N for no. You look last year, this passing attack was already best in the league by a wide margin, over 14 yards better than Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Buffalo, Houston, and Atlanta coming in there to round out your top 5, but Kansas City led the pack by a wide margin. I think this can be a team that throws for 320, 325 yards per game if they're hitting on all cylinders. And a reason I think this offense will improve and Mahomes will play better is the O-line should be substantially better. I think that's an area where Mahomes is talking about, hey, we can be substantially better. Well, how about better protection? We saw the Super Bowl, even before the Super Bowl, and games down the stretch. Yeah, the Chiefs' offense still did really well, but Mahomes was running for his life. Now that he's playing behind what should be a better offensive line moving forward, then I think the sky is the limit for this offense, and it'll be fascinating to watch over the next several years as guys like Joe Thuney, Orlando Brown continue to grow. Creed Humphrey eventually is the center as well. Lucas Niang hopefully at right tackle long term. There's a lot of young talent on this offensive line, and we already know about the skill talent at wide receiver, and obviously with Tyreek Hill at tight end. Predict it for me. Over under 5,000 passing yards for Patrick Mahomes in 2021. Type O for over, type U for under. He threw for 4,700 yards in 15 games last year. Remember, didn't play week 17. And now there's an extra game this year. So assume he has 2 extra games this year if he doesn't sit a game out. Yeah, he's going to throw for 5,000 plus. O for over, or you can type your U for under. Now, if you want a number 15 red Patrick Mahomes jersey, this is the place for you. Chatsports.com/MahomesRed. That is the link to click and shop today and pick up this Nike Authentic Mahomes jersey for just $89.99. This bad boy is usually over $100, but it is on sale right now, so take advantage of that deal. Chatsports.com/MahomesRed, and you can be like me. I've got this same Mahomes jersey hanging up in the closet right now, so go ahead, shop, and buy one today. Let's talk Mecole Schwartz now here on the Chiefs Report by Chat Sports. And Fansided is speculating that maybe the Chiefs aren't done with Mitchell Schwartz completely. So obviously he got released back in the month of March along with Eric Fisher to clear some cap space. The Chiefs needed some salary cap relief, and Schwartz was a cap casualty. Obviously he had the back issues last year that led to offseason surgery, but he remains unsigned. He still lives in the Kansas City area, and by all accounts, still wants to play in the NFL moving forward. And I thought I would also show this as well. You look at his Twitter bio, it's all Chiefs stuff. Chiefs header with his last name on the jersey there. A Chiefs photo in there. It says Chiefs offensive tackle, Super Bowl champ with the Chiefs, hashtag Chiefs, hashtag Chiefs Kingdom. Like, there's no doubt Mitchell Schwartz loves Kansas City, and he loves the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, that doesn't mean he's going to play with the Chiefs, but I do think he wants to play in the NFL more. He wants to prove he can still play. And I think if it was his preference, he would re-sign with Kansas City. Now, that doesn't mean it's going to happen. That doesn't mean that the Chiefs want to bring him back. But, hey, what if Mike Remmers and Lucas Niang don't work out at right tackle? We'll explore that more in just a little bit. But what say you? Should the Chiefs bring back Mitchell Schwartz? Type 1 for yes, type 2 for no. Get your votes in on this one. I'm not opposed. It would have to be cheap because I do have issues or concerns about the back issues from last season, especially now that he's had surgery. But, hey, if it's a cheap deal, I don't think it's that big of a deal. Now, you look at the depth chart. Excuse me. I mentioned Mike Remmers, Lucas Niang. They're going to duke it out at right tackle. Well, what if Remmers is a stiff and Niang is not quite ready to be the full-time right tackle? Well, then maybe you bring back Mitchell Schwartz on a cheap one-year deal. He's your right tackle this year, and then Niang takes over next year. Could be an option. I don't think they're going to go that route. I wouldn't expect Mitchell Schwartz to be back next season, but I do find it interesting that it's still being speculated that he has not signed with another team and that he's still, in my opinion, clearly loves the Kansas City Chiefs, has all that stuff in his Twitter bio, and maybe is holding out hope for another chance to play with Kansas City. So we'll monitor this until he signs elsewhere, which I do think he will sign with the team at some point. But hey, maybe, just maybe, a return to Kansas City is still on the table. Get subscribed to the Kansas City Chiefs Report here on YouTube because we're bringing you the best coverage when it comes to Chiefs Kingdom on the internet. We cover the latest Chiefs news, rumors, full offseason coverage, free agency signings if they happen, breaking news like Frank Clark driving with an Uzi in his back seat. We cover it all. YouTube.com/ChiefsTV. Just hit that big red button and subscribe today. Let's wrap things up on this one. The 20-0 storyline just won't go away, and I'm starting to think that this has been discussed among players within that Chiefs locker room. Obviously, Patrick Mahomes said this a few weeks ago, kind of casually at that charity golf tournament in Hawaii. He said, hey, 20-0 is a goal of ours. You know, this is something that's obviously never been done with the 17-game regular season schedule. It is possible to do that in terms of every team will play 20 games if you get to the Super Bowl. Mecole Hardman kind of mentioned it recently as well. That's why we're talking about it again. And just to circle around to what I said before, I kind of think the players have discussed this like, hey, why not us? Let's go 20-0. We do know this for a fact. Kansas City is pissed off after that Super Bowl performance. There's no way around it. That's why Brett Veach revamped this offensive line, because that was an embarrassment display from that group up front. Patrick Mahomes had no chance in that game, although I thought he performed pretty admirably in a blowout effort by Tampa Bay. But here's what Hardman had to say on this discussion. Quote, we got the talent to do whatever we put our minds to. 20-0 is definitely a goal. We don't want to lose any games no matter what. Whatever Pat says, my quarterback, I'm siding with him. So, hey, look, I don't think the Chiefs are, going to go full Golden State and like, hey, we're striving to go win 73 games, beat the 96 Bulls. But I do think, hey, you get off to a hot start, win some games early in the season, that'll be on their radar. And hey, they're going to have to start hot to keep that alive early on. Browns, Ravens on the road, even the Chargers, that's a tough 3-game slate to open up the season as we kind of make our way through the schedule here. Obviously, Philadelphia in Week 4. Bills in Week 5 is going to be tough. At Washington Week 6, that's a good defense. At Tennessee, The Titans have given the Chiefs some trouble in the past. Giants on Monday Night Football. You got the Packers. If Aaron Rodgers is there, that's a formidable opponent as well before a couple of games for the bye week. Raiders, Cowboys, two of the easier games. Raider Nation, that's just the way it is. The Broncos in Week 13, and then down the stretch, some manageable games, but I think that Chargers game on Thursday Night Football is going to be tough. Quick turnaround after a Raiders game. You got the Steelers in Week 16, and then the Bengals and the Broncos both on the road. It's just going to be hard to run the table in the regular season and then keep that momentum and go 20-0. But hey, I like striving for perfection. We should all strive for perfection in everything that we do. And, you know, if the Chiefs go 20-0 or 15-5, who really cares as long as they're making a deep run and perhaps another run at a Lombardi trophy. We'll sign off in just a moment, but first, predict the Chiefs' record for us. And you can base it on, you know, if they go all the way to the Super Bowl. So you could be like 17-3, 16-4, whatever the case may be. Predict the Chiefs' record this year, and we'll see you next time here on the Chiefs Report.